Hey ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. I really do appreciate you watching. Today I'm joined by my good friend Carlos.
What's going on?
And in today's video, we're going to be going over 5 Creed fragrances that are worn by celebrities, so stay tuned. So I just want to start this video off by saying that I don't think anybody should go out there and purchase a fragrance just because it's worn by a celebrity. That should be a given. You should always buy fragrances depending on what you like, what works well on your skin, and what caters to your personal taste. But there is a subset of people out there that actually are interested to know, hey, what is my favorite celebrity wearing, so on and so forth. And I tried to see if I could narrow it down to just Creed fragrances. And I just want to give a very special thank you to the Celebrity Fragrance Guide. They're not the sponsor of this video or anything like that, but that is where I sourced my information. So I'm going to leave a link to their website down below in the description section. So let's go ahead and start things off with Silver Mountain Water. And so this is definitely one of the more abstract Creeds, not just in my collection, but out there, period. It's a very abstract Creed fragrance. Some people even go as far as saying it has an inky note. And this fragrance is worn by the celebrity David Bowie.
So
Are you familiar with David Bowie?
Of course. Are you kidding me?
Who isn't, right? There's a giant mural by where I live. So what are your thoughts on Silver Mountain Water?
I find it to be a very wearable freshie. With a little bit of an oddness lurking around there, but overall it's a nice freshie.
Yeah, I totally agree. It has a little bit of that inky note that I spoke about before. It's a very abstract fragrance. It has a little bit of like a tea vibe going on in it as well. A nice bit of citrus in there too, mainly bergamot if I'm not mistaken. But there is an inexpensive variant out there called Silver by Al Rehab. I'll leave a link down below if I remember, but that's the first one.
This one is also able to be over-applied.
Oh yeah?
I've smelled people who had way too much on it, just totally killed the fragrance, the beauty of the fragrance anyway, but
Gotcha. So for those of you who don't know, the reason why we decided to go with Creed as a fragrance house is because, one, they've been around for a long time. Some people say that they're not as old as they claim to be, but also celebrities for some reason love wearing Creed. If you go on the Celebrity Fragrance Guide and you expand one of the Creed fragrances, you'll see a ton of celebrities associated with each one, so it just made compiling this list that much easier.
it kind of makes sense because it's a luxury line and celebrities want luxury items, so it kind of does make sense that a lot of celebrities would use Creed products.
Yeah, you're totally right. And it should be noted that the ones that you see in this video are the older presentation, which is the 4-ounce bottles. Now they have a 3.4 ounce, which is the largest flask size, and they retail for about $450. So
Wow.
Celebrities have the money to fork out to purchase these scents. The next one on this list is Millésime Impérial. And this is a fragrance that is worn by Jay-Z, Mr. Carter himself.
What?
And so this one, a lot of people say it smells like a salty watermelon. It definitely has that fruity vibe going on in there. There's a freshness about it. It has ambergris in the base, which is whale vomit, but we're not going to go into that. But what is your take on Millésime Impérial?
I really always liked it. I thought it's a great fragrance. It just didn't last for me personally on skin.
Gotcha.
And I wasn't judging it by owning a bottle. I owned the cans back then when I first started getting to this really hardcore.
Yeah.
So I found it to be not the best performer on my skin, but I did like the scent DNA.
Yeah, very well put. And it is one that I actually enjoy wearing. I wear it a lot in the summertime. Very fresh, very uplifting as well. The next fragrance in this list is without a doubt the most popular fragrance that Creed has ever put out. You guys know at home what it is if you're not a stranger to Creed fragrances, and it is Creed Aventus. And so this one, kind of obscure. I did the research on this myself. This is worn by Ryan Serhant of $1 Million Listing. And so he has his own TV show. He is a real estate agent who makes a ton of money on commission. He sells some very popular high rises and buildings in Manhattan. And I actually ran into him one day on the streets of Soho, which was really, really cool. And we were kind of inspired to name our daughter after his wife, which is another odd tidbit. His wife happens to be Greek, and I'm Greek, and whatever. I'm not even going to go there. But I was watching an episode of $1 Million Listing, and I saw this bottle resting on his desk. So what has your experience with Creed Aventus been like?
Well, I bought a bottle, a little one, mind you. It came in like a 1 ounce, I believe.
Okay.
And I bought it when it first came out. It was a new Creed, and I liked it. I wasn't aware the monster that it would grow to be in fragrance community. I went through it. I liked it. But I wasn't blown away by it.
Yeah.
It wasn't until, social media, Facebook, that, like, wow, this is really better than I thought. But it just wasn't, like, it was good. I enjoyed it. I went through most of the bottle, but it wasn't such a, or maybe I wasn't at that point in my fragrance journey. I've grown to love it.
Yeah. I personally have always loved it.
Yeah.
Since the day I purchased it, I wore it on my wedding day, on my honeymoon. The only thing that's a bit headache-inducing is to talk about all the different batches.
Yeah.
But there are differences.
There are.
There are differences, for sure.
Definitely prefer the earlier batches, the more smoky ones. That they have more character to me than the overly fruity batches.
I agree with you.
So.
Yep. So the next fragrance on this list is a fragrance that goes back to 1985, and this one is called Green Irish Tweed.
G-I-T.
I love this one. This is violet, lemon verbena, a lot of citrus, a little bit of vetiver too, if I'm not mistaken. And this one is actually worn by the actor Cary Grant. And so Cary Grant has passed, the late Cary Grant, I should say. But this is also a fragrance that I love wearing in the springtime. It's often dubbed the King of Spring.
This is just... It's like being away on holiday somewhere in the hills of Ireland, opening your window on a beautiful spring morning and just inhaling that beautiful clean air.
That's right.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's a fresh fragrance. I absolutely love it. It's so easy to wear. And it's also a compliment magnet as well. I've gotten a lot of compliments wearing that one.
May I say something about one that we don't have here?
Okay.
Or after?
Oh, yeah. No, please do.
Frank Sinatra.
Bois de Portugal. Yeah. I knew that one too. And I was so upset because I was putting the list together and I'm like, man, I don't have that one.
You should have told me. I would have bought it.
Yeah, it's all right. Well, we made it an honorable mention.
Yeah.
And the very last one that I would like to talk about, a little controversy surrounding this one. A lot of people say how it didn't really come out in the year that the company purports that it came out. So this one is Royal English Leather, and this is a fragrance that goes back to 1781. This is the very first fragrance that Creed has ever made. It is currently discontinued, or as Creed would like to put it, vaulted. And this one on eBay I saw for a brand new bottle sells for well over $1,000.
Wow.
And so this is very hard to come by.
And ironically, I do not like the fragrance. Sorry, Creed.
I'm not crazy about it either. Yeah,
So,
I mean, we love everything else, but definitely not this one. So this one has like leather, it has civet in here, and this one was made for King George III because he loved the way that his leather gloves would smell, and so he wanted a fragrance that he would use to spray on his leather gloves, and he also had his entire royal court wearing it. And at the time, it was also theorized...
I'm just imagining the cloud in that court.
Can you imagine that?
Whoa.
It must be pretty cool. I actually would enjoy it despite me not really loving this fragrance too much. But it was also theorized at the time that a member of his royal court was also a serial killer in London. And so there are some accounts, or some people on online threads are talking about how this was actually the scent of Jack the Ripper, because he was also known for his leather apron.
Wow.
So I don't know if I can really validate that, because Jack the Ripper, I think, committed most of his crimes in 1888.
Okay.
And he was recently discovered to be a Polish barber who was an immigrant, if I'm not mistaken. But in any case, these have been 5 Creed fragrances that are worn by celebrities. I would love to know what you guys think. Do you have a level of familiarity with any one of these Creed fragrances? I'm sure you do. If that's the case, leave a comment down below. Also, do you know about any fragrances that are worn by other celebrities? I would also like to know that down below as well. I'm also going to be leaving Carlos's information in the description box, so please make sure to subscribe to him. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, but you took something of value from this video, please do consider subscribing to my channel. All you have to do is click the red subscribe button in the corner, and this way, whenever I do upload future fragrance-related content, it will get delivered straight to your feed. You never need to worry about missing any videos. Thanks again for watching. We love you guys. We'll see you next time.
Take care.
Bye.